Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. Dave may or may not join us today because he's having some technical difficulties. But I'm going to talk about a topic that I've been really diving into lately because so many people are not doing it correctly, right? And basically, it's building your business from the ground up the right way, right? It's Financial Fitness Friday. Let's talk about this because most of us that own a business, it is literally what we eat, sleep, and breathe. All right. We spend most of our time building whatever business we're trying to build to serve our clients and our community. And it's a pretty big deal, right? So the fact that most people aren't doing it the right way, most people aren't actually building a sellable asset, and all they're doing is building themselves a job. Like this is something that needs to be talked about, needs to be addressed, right? And I think just like the first part of it is where we'll cover today because so many people get this wrong. So if you're looking to start a business or you have started a business, this is going to be a great quick episode for you. All right. What I would tell you is this: the first thing you guys need to do is get your corporate entity filed, get your operating agreement done, and then once you have your corporate docs, you want to set everything up, right? Get a business phone number, get a business email address, get a business bank account, get a get a website, right? These are all the things that you have to do. And then once you do that, the next step is go build your business credit, right? And so many people don't build their business credit at that junction, at that step. And so what happens is they start using their personal financing to float the business. And then when you're using your personal financing to float the business, you're building up your credit card debt most of the time, or you're financing vehicles for the business in your name, right? Both of those impact your debt. Both of those impact your debt to income ratios. Okay. And when your debt to income ratios goes up, your credit is going to go down. Right. So now you're in a position where you haven't built business credit. You have a lot more personal credit being used, and your credit score is getting lower. And now you're trying to run a business. Typically, when you get to that 6 month, year mark, or even 2 years, God willing, right? Because most businesses fail in the first 2 years. Well, now you have a really bad credit score and you need financing for growth. And so your options are very limited, right? Versus the guy that as soon as he established his business, he got his corporate docs filed. He had everything set up the right way. And not only did he have everything set up the right way, okay, he was able to start building his business credit. And so at that stage in the game, guess what? He can get any of the financing that he needs, right? He's not using his personal financing to float the business, which means if he wants to go buy a house, he has a much better shot of getting approved because he's going to have a higher credit score, right? And these are just the basics, the very, very basics of what happens when you start your business, all right? And then the other thing is people don't document anything, right? So as you're learning and going through the system, right, developing whatever processes you have for sales, for marketing, okay, for internal operations, you have to be documenting that and having an SOP, a standard operating procedure that is in video form and written out. And this is going to dramatically help you grow and scale because what's happening is every position, every role, every process is documented. So it's much easier to train people. It's much easier to bring people in. And by the way, you're actually building something that's going to work without you there, without you being part of it. All right. And once that's done, it is much easier to grow and scale. Dave, we're just talking about how people really hurt their business, let's say in the first year or two, right? By not building their business credit, by not making the right SOPs, by not documenting everything, by not having their corporate filings up and done right.
Yeah.
And another thing I see a lot of business owners do is you guys change your legal entity. The only time you should do that is if you absolutely have to, because you're going to reset your time in business, right? And so that's another trap that people fall into. Dave, what can you think of?
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties, some mic issues there. But first and foremost, good to see you, brother. I figured that's what you were talking about when I hopped right in, and just I can tell where you're going with business credit and everything else. But like you said, when you document these things, you're making systems duplicatable too, right? So that transition's easy.
Replicatable.
Yeah, duplicatable, replicatable without you, right?
Yeah.
Works from the top, it works from everybody else. If you started something and if it sucks, it's going to suck for everybody else.
Yeah.
Also, just to not get completely off topic with it, when you're coming in and you do have an issue with the team, it's, hey, did you follow the order? Did you follow the SOP? And if you didn't, where did you go wrong? Right? Where in here didn't you follow? So completely agree with what you're saying. And in terms of the business credit stuff, I think something to add to that when people are getting established is they're relying on too much personal stuff as well. And then they're falling into that trap.
We covered that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Personal cards, putting vehicles in your own name, not under the business. Yeah. All those pitfalls.
Yeah. Or to even become lendable if you have too much, utilization, which is typically the biggest problem.
100%. And then here's another one, right? Not tracking, not knowing your numbers, not having your books done. Okay. And here's as simple as it needs to be. You get QuickBooks open, you connect your QuickBooks to your bank account, and then you go out and hire a bookkeeper. And that bookkeeper doesn't have to be expensive. I might pay about $100 a month, if that, on bookkeeping. All right. Actually, it's probably more than that, but it's not enough for I notice it at all. But the reality is I have a lot of transactions, right? I'm a larger company. My bookkeeping is going to be more expensive. I'm sure you could get a bookkeeper for $100 a month, right? A VA that's just going to go through, keep everything there. And why do you need that? Because you need to know what's going on in your business. You need to know where you're making money, where you're losing money, and how you can improve it, right? And so that gives you just a base layer of items that you need to get working on. That doesn't go into any of the insurance stuff. It doesn't go into refiling your yearly. I can't tell you how many times I get somebody in and they don't have they didn't renew their corporate entity, right? And so now they have to go back, renew their corporate entity before they can even get approved. All right. Because if you don't have a corporate entity, technically, your business is open, but legally you're not protected. Okay. It's not functioning. And that happens to so many people. I've been guilty of it too, because it's very easy. It comes up every year. You have to renew. It's a pain in the ass. All right. But these are the things that when you open up your business, no one's telling you, no one's handing you this guidebook of shit to do. Right. And that's something that you guys should focus on in right away. And if you can't, or if you haven't yet, it's something you need to address today. Don't let it go, because the more you let it go, the more you have to unbury yourself. I have seen people behind 2, 3, 4 years in taxes, right? That's not a great situation. All right. So cover this stuff. It'll help you grow. It'll also make it a lot less stressful because you don't feel like you always have to fucking catch up and do something, right? Build it the right way. And I'm going to do some more of these in different stages of the business as we go along, because I think it's very helpful. All right. So I hope this helped, and we'll catch you on Mindset Monday. Take care, guys.
Great job.